There is a light for the blind man, a sound for deaf ears. It's riches for forgotten souls that have nothing left to give. There is freedom from bondage for those who can't break free. This is the gospel of Jesus, and it's good news. Let us remember we have good news. We won't hide it in the shadows. We will light up the truth. Tell everybody what he's done for you. Shout it from the rooftops. We got good news.
Good news. Good news. You hear so much negative about young people in the world today, here in Gary and around the country and around the world. Well, what if I told you that there was a young man in New Orleans, a young black man, who scholarship offers have surpassed $9 million. That's right. This young man is a senior in high school at the age of 16. His grade point average is 4.98. And even before graduating high school, he has earned 27 college credits. And perhaps most impressive of all, he has scholarship offers from 130 colleges and universities that, as of Thursday, totaled more than $9 million. Yes, this young brother's name is Dennis Malik Barnes. And his achievements at the International High School of New Orleans are a source of pride for school administrators who are looking into whether Barnes has set a record for scholarship offers. But it wasn't a record he was looking for, as he piled up around 200 applications to colleges around the nation. It was about making sure he had plenty of options. His plan is to major in computer science as an undergraduate, but he also has said that he has done work as an intern at the Louisiana State Bar Association. The offices are a short walk from his high school campus, and that has the brother thinking about going to law school. Yes. I mean, we could use a brother like this in the law field. You know, what's my man's name? Who's does all the civil rights work now that Johnny Cochran's gone? Benjamin Crump's not going to be able to do this forever. He credits a strong Christian faith as a part of his success. He also gives a lot of credit to Miss Denise James, who is his school's college admissions counselor. James and the head of school, Adjera Berger, both describe Barnes as a leader and as an example to other students, including the school's English language learners. This young black man was born and raised in New Orleans, one of the poorest cities in America, and he hasn't determined how far he wants to go to college, but he's definitely going to college. So good news. Yes, good news for that young man. This is a little bit of an interview I saw from him on News Nation. Listen to the young man. He has a lot going on.
Well, a 16-year-old from New Orleans is proving that hard work and dedication pays off in a really big way in this case. Dennis Malik Barnes, he's a senior at International High School in New Orleans, and he's graduating 2 years early, and he has earned more than $9 million in scholarships. Even more impressive, if that's not enough, all of those scholarships came directly from the schools themselves. His achievement, breaking the previous record of $8.7 million. Not only that, he has already started college courses at Southern University in New Orleans, alongside his senior high school classes, all while maintaining a perfect GPA. It's actually more than perfect, right? It's higher than 4.0 these days. I want to bring in Malik himself this morning. Malik, congratulations to you. Wow, impressive.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning to you. So $9 million in scholarships. As I understand it, you applied to 200 colleges and universities. You got into 180 of them. Applying to one is a lot of work. Why did you apply to so many at the start of this process?
It may seem like it was a lot of work, but it wasn't that bad. I started applying in August of 2022, so I kind of stretched out the work. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I might have did 2 or 3 a week. But by the time I got here where I am now, it kind of paid off, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely did. So as you started to get the acceptance letters rolling in and the dollars started adding up for these scholarships, how did that make you feel? Were you surprised? What was your family's response?
I wasn't surprised, but I anticipated it. It wasn't something that I kind of kept my family up to date with, kind of because I kind of knew where I was going with it. Not to say that I had a goal, but I knew that my numbers were climbing and they were going up really quickly. So once I got to a really big number, I kind of brought it to them, but they weren't aware of the work and the time that I was putting into it so consistently.
What was the reason that you applied to so many, Malik?
It wasn't necessarily um an intention or a goal to have so many schools or to break a record or have X amount of schools. I just kind of kept going with it. And as I kept going, I seen the numbers going up and I liked what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, right? It's got to be pretty exciting. I'm curious, describe to me what type of student you are. You're clearly very smart and wise and dedicated, but how would you describe your study habits?
Um, Study habits, that's not something I'm involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, so studying isn't something that I would say that I do on a day-to-day basis. I kind of retain information easily once I'm taught it, and it doesn't take long for me to grasp concepts.
Oh, you're one of the lucky ones, right? That you don't have to work as hard, but clearly you put in a lot of work to do what you're doing and get where you are. I know you're an athlete, you play sports. What role does sports play in helping you stay focused on the task at hand?
It's something to help me get away, I guess you could say a hobby in a sense. Um, it's just something that I do on the side.
What sports do you play, Malik?
I played basketball this year. I didn't get to run track this year because I have been working, but that's something that I have done in previous years and something that I enjoy. My freshman year, I played football at Riverdale High School. That was fun. It's just something to get away.
You're busy. So what motivates you to succeed academically? What's driving you?
Just my dreams and aspirations. I know where I want to go long term, not necessarily right now, but 10, 20 years from now. And I believe that what I'm doing right now is milestones and is building blocks for me to achieve those long term goals.
And where do you see yourself in 10, 20 years, Malik?
Hopefully establish, attaining wealth. And if I'm not wealthy at that time, I at least want to be getting to a point in my life where I'm starting to grow wealth.
Grow wealth. So you've got a couple big decisions ahead of you. First of which is where you want to go to college. You have lots of choices before you. Have you made that decision yet?
No, ma'am, not as of yet, but I'm looking to make a decision by next week, definitely.
And what's important to you as you factor in the different things that are important to you in a college?
I just want to go to a school that's going to set me up the best financially, where I'm going to be the most comfortable. Definitely a school that's going to have a quality education for me. And definitely I want to get paid to go to school.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you have a lot of really, really good options. What are you going to study, Malik?
Computer science, and I want to finish with a bachelor's in computer science and move on to law.
Wise beyond your years, 16 years old. Big congratulations.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Everybody want to talk down on today's youth when they out there shooting and killing and doing all the stuff, but we don't recognize young brothers like Dennis Malik Barnes that often. We got a lot of great young people in this country. We just saw John L. Davis from Gary in the NCAA tournament in Florida Atlantic. We have a lot of people at 21st Century. We got a lot of people at Westside. We got a lot of young people who have the same type of potential that Mr. Barnes does and that Mr. Davis does, and a lot of these people do. So whenever you want to talk about how young people today don't do this, young people today don't do that, always remember there's always people out there like Dennis Barnes, who came from New Orleans, Louisiana, one of the poorest cities in America and has $9 million in scholarships from 130 different colleges. Good news. Protect this brother at all costs. Keep him away from the race soldiers and everybody who would seek to exploit this young man. Hopefully he has a good family and good friends. Well, I know he got a good family or he wouldn't have turned out this way, but definitely we have to look out for young brothers like this. All right, folks. You can chop it up with me on Twitter. At The Chemist Lives. The Chemist is spelled with the K, as I am a product of the Gary Community School System. We can talk politics, we can talk sports, we can talk music. You can tell me how terrible I am at this job. Or you can watch clips from this show at the YouTube page, Scott